Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It's so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. If it's your first time on the channel, welcome. We're so glad to have you. So today we're doing your weekly tarot reading. This is good for the week of September 19th through the 25th. So, wow, hard to believe. So we'll actually be having, the equinox happening this week on the 22nd. So we'll have that energy coming into play. So we have some big energies. We're also in Mercury retrograde, so that could be affecting you somewhat too. So let's see what energies we have coming up this week. We have Koala Spirit. Spirit has a plan. Okay, and traveling lightly, simplify your life. Yeah, the thing that I feel is happening, it's almost like you're getting some type of clarity, maybe around the equinox. It's something from the past. I'm not saying like a person comes back. It could just be a memory, or you could be finding some new information out about something or someone from the past. I feel like it's really kind of a nice energy though, because it's almost as if you can, the traveling lightly, it's almost as if you can drop that burden of, it could be almost the sense of feeling like you're finally closing out a certain situation in your life that maybe you had a hard time closing out. Maybe you didn't have all of the information that you needed. It's almost as if you're like, aha, I get it now. And you can walk away. But it may make you just a tad sad, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, now I know, and now I can move on. And also understanding with the Koala Spirit that, even this period where maybe you didn't have complete closure in this situation, you didn't have all of the information, that you could be kind of like, there's almost a sense of, why did I spend so much time and energy worrying about this or trying to figure this out? Or, why wasn't I able to have that information earlier? You could be even asking your spirit guides and angels, like, why couldn't you have just given me this information, maybe years ago? But part of it is that you weren't meant to know yet. Okay, that spirit has a plan. There was a reason, okay, that you needed some time in order to be able to truly close out this energy and to be able to walk away. It could, let's go to the tarot and see if we can get some more information. But it's almost as if this is the way it was meant to be. You weren't meant to be able to close out that energy really quickly. Maybe, there were things that you had to work through, you in your own space, in your own heart, okay? That since the energy was so hard for you to close out, maybe it helped you to go within and to do some healing with some inner child trauma wounds or something like that. It had to take this long. And Gemini, I feel like you're kind of like, I'm finally over it. There's this sense of it's done. Like it's really and truly done. And once again, I don't feel like you're rejoicing. It's not like you're oh my goodness, I'm done, finally done with that. It's kind of like, almost like I'm done. I'm really done. It's almost like I'm getting a little teary-eyed because you're kind of like, yeah, it's really over. It's this sense of, it's not resignation. It's just kind of like this knowing. It's a very, it's almost bittersweet. I would say it's kind of like bittersweet because you're glad it's finally over in a way, and yet you're really sad because a big part of your life is no longer going to be in your life, knowing that you do have to walk forward. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Family on the bottom. Family, friends, and guides. And then you have a loving man. I feel there is this sense of somebody new coming in because now you have you're able to really finally say that is over. But it's not just that. I think this relationship or whatever has been over for a long time. Once again, you couldn't close it out. There you could have been really even frustrated with that. Yeah, a lovely energy. Two of Swords on the bottom. Just kind of wondering, is it over? Am I still holding on to false hopes that this comes back? But it's kind of like, no. It's, it's almost as if, the Six of Pentacles can represent a gift from the universe. It's almost like the universe gifts you this information. I feel like the information is not pleasant, okay? But it's kind of like you almost like, yes, I think I already knew that, but it's kind of like confirmation of something that you may have felt. And now you're ready to look at this, ready to move on, right? From this turbulence, this unrest in your life towards something that is really and truly destined for you, that is full of love, that is willing to open up, be vulnerable to you, to cherish you for who you truly are, oh Gemini. Because your present energy here is that you have been literally working on trying to let go of something from the past, of, shutting these doors, of walking through this new door. Like, it's almost like you've been stuck for some time. You've been working on this. You've been moving towards this door, but these doors have still been kind of like open. And it's this energy of, slam, slam, lock, lock, throw the key away. It's kind of like, okay, now I can really move forward. Yeah. And once again, it's not like a celebration. I don't feel like you're celebrating in the fact that it's time to move on. It's kind of like a sense of relief, a little bit more of relief, but still, again, that bittersweet moment where you're kind of like, it's really over. I am ready to move, truly move on. And I know for many of you, you have been working on moving on for a very long time. I feel like this is, the final thing. So your obstacle here is that you've been optimistic that you can move on, that you're making progress, it's almost this sense of, Mary Sue, I've been working on this so long. Yes, you have. And you've been very positive about it. Yes, very hopeful for your future, right? It's kind of like, when is my future going to start though? It's interesting because we have the equinox this week. I feel like maybe, it's about having maybe a ceremony on the equinox, understanding maybe this is the pivotal moment, when you're shifting seasons from one season to the next, that it is also the time to shift from the season of your past to the season of your future. Wow. Yeah. Queen of Swords on the bottom. There you are. We have the Queen and the King of Swords. Okay. We have the Fool card here. We have the Two of Wands, deciding it is time to go ahead and embrace this new path, and knowing that you have the strength and courage to go forward. You have the Fool card twice. Definitely a new path. It could be that somebody new is coming into your life a little bit. And so as this new person is coming into your life, it's kind of like almost even easier to move on, to understand, okay, whatever has occurred in the past is over. You have been working on this for so long, even though I feel like you've been working in the night. Kind of interesting energy here. I feel like a part of you, Gemini, has been smiling during the day, right? Smiling, putting on a happy face. People that are in your life, you never complain about something that happened in the past or whatever. And then at night is when you're really working on your healing. You could be getting, like, during your sleep time, downloads. You could be, having your spirit guides and angels visiting you in your dream world. You could have been even visiting the person that you are leaving or the situation that you are leaving behind, trying to get that clarity about why it ended. There's almost this sense of working at night in order to be able to find the determination to go forward in your own way. But I feel like part of the problem is that some person in the past, whether it was romantic, family, friend, work related, or whatever, somebody acted in their own best interest. And that's what I think, you may have always known about this person, but I feel as if there's almost this energy of that you're seeing it clearly now, that they may have said that they were doing it for you or doing it for others or whatever, trying to slant it a different way. And now you understand clearly, no, it was all selfish. It was all about them. They had no good intentions towards you or perhaps towards some other people. You see them clearly, and it's kind of like, yeah, they'll just win at no cost. And it's kind of like you're walking away and saying, I don't want to play that game. I really and truly don't want to play that game, and walking away. And once again, it's kind of bittersweet, because I feel like you really and truly loved this person, maybe still have love for them in some way. And yet at the same time, you're kind of like, I can't have that energy in my life. I can't have people around me that because we can't trust this energy, right? Because they make decisions that are only good for them. They're looking out for themselves and for no one else. That's a really difficult energy to be around. It's almost as if you always have to look over your shoulder, right? You can't trust a person like that because you don't know what they're really going to do. And so your advice here is that the wheel is turning in your favor. It's almost a sense that, Gemini, you really have taken the high road through a lot of different difficult situations. Perhaps, seriously, maybe over the last, definitely, I feel like maybe, you have the 7, the 8, the 3, the last 5 or 6 years, you may have had to take the high road over and over again. It was almost as if you took the high road and then you felt maybe even punished, okay, by the universe, by it. But it helped to clear out a lot of past karma. It was also this energy of really and truly understanding, okay, I have to walk on the path that is the best for me. And because you have taken the high road, because you over and over again have chosen to stay in alignment with who you are and who you are wanting to become, the wheel is turning in your favor. The blessings are coming in, and with it also a new romantic connection, somebody that, is going to bring you true happiness. If you're in a relationship right now, a happy relationship, I think that the relationship, the bond between the two of you deepens, right? If you are single at this time, or maybe have just recently begun dating someone, I feel like that, that either that new relationship or a new relationship comes in and helps you to understand, oh my goodness, all of that work that I had to do in literally the middle of the night, right? All that work, anguishing, trying to figure all of this out. I put a lot of time and energy into my healing, right? It's all worth it. It's kind of like, seriously, all worth it. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, really getting on top of, this has been a long, long trek, willing to now take action, move forward. Yeah, step into your own power, because I feel as if, Gemini, I'm not going to say that you haven't stepped onto your soul's purpose path, because I know from your comments, a lot of you have been working diligently, right, on creating new businesses that are more aligned with your soul's purpose, or new creative projects, or making changes in your life that are more on your soul's purpose. And there's your soul's path coming up with the 8 of Cups, walking away from something that a lifestyle, a life with people, perhaps, that just was not fulfilling, but it's taken a long time for you to do this. It's been a major shift in your thinking, in your energy, in the way that you view the world. And I feel as if with the Six of Pentacles, this is the blessings coming in. The universe is really bringing in some new people, new connections, new prosperity to help you understand that, yes, this new path is really and truly your destined path. That Spirit has had a plan all along, and now it's almost as if the plan is coming into focus, into reality. Wow. Really interesting. Very, you know, I'm going to say, I feel like it's a little bit, you know, the song that's coming to mind is Yellow Brick Road, you know, by Elton John. Say goodbye to the yellow brick road. It's almost as if you're saying goodbye to a lifestyle or a life or a relationship or relationships, you know, with family and friends that were, you know, the yellow brick road is really kind of like the fantasy, right? The fantasy. And now what you're doing is really stepping into a world that is created by you instead of the fantasy of other people. You know, I feel like you're coming into this clarity of understanding that in the world that you were in before, okay, it was filled with people that were really selfish and greedy and looking out for themselves, even in times when you could have convinced yourself, right, that they were also in it for you. It's kind of like this sad reckoning, and yet at the same time liberating, right? You're kind of liberating, because I feel like whoever this represents, or the people that it represents, there was always kind of like this tit for tat type of energy, except that you were always expected to give more. You know, oh, Gemini, I did this for you, so I need you to do this for me. But it was always lopsided, right? They always were getting the better end of the deal, but they had a way of twisting it to make you think, oh, yes, this is a good deal for me too. Or, oh, yes, this relationship is very balanced. It wasn't. It wasn't. And I feel as if maybe you're seeing them clearly for the first time. Maybe you see them doing this to somebody else, and you're kind of like observing it, and you're kind of like, oh my goodness, that's what they used to do to me. Like, you're kind of like, no, they're like that with everyone. They're not just like that with me. You may have thought that they were only like that with you, and now you're understanding, no, they're like that with everyone. That is them. It has really nothing to do with me. It almost gives you this clarity about who they really are, and the stark contrast between them and you. And it's kind of like, oh, well, wait a minute. That's really easy to walk away from, because that's not the energy I want to be around anyway. And yet at the same time, it's kind of like that hard reckoning of understanding, yeah, I really believed in that person. I really put a lot of time and energy into that person. But in this knapsack here, and I know it's really like a violin or mandola or something like that, but to me, it looks like a knapsack. It's kind of like, that's the lessons that I'm taking with me. That's the wisdom. I'm not taking anything else from that relationship. I'm not taking hurt. I'm not taking pain. I'm not taking regret or shame or guilt or anger or anything. All I'm taking is the wisdom that I've learned, that I can step into my own truth and really and truly embrace who I am with confidence and go forward in search of my true happiness. So let's see what we have here. From whom can I release my judgment now? Yeah, you know, I feel like a lot of this is not just judgment on some other person, but also kind of a judgment on you. You're releasing, why are they like this with me? I think you really see them do this with somebody else, you know, something similar to what they used to do to you. And you see it clearly, and you're kind of like, wait a minute, it really wasn't me. You're no longer having that judgment of you. What's wrong with me? Why do I allow them to do that? What's wrong with my boundaries? You know, like kind of almost like questioning yourself. And now all of a sudden you're like, no, wait a minute, there's no questioning here. I am who I am, and I'm embracing that. and I'm seeing them clearly, and I'm walking away. Judgment closes our heart to truth and separates us from love. It binds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what is. And you know, I really feel like this knapsack here, Gemini, is you understanding. Wait a minute, there's no judgment here, no judgment. You know, I feel like the thing that was blocking true love from you coming into you is that you still felt there was something wrong with you. I feel like this person, you know, may have even said, you don't even appreciate me. Look at how much I do for you, Gemini. You don't even appreciate me. And so then you would do more for them, right? And they still would be like, Gemini, you still don't appreciate me. It's almost as if you see them say this to somebody else, and you're kind of like, well, wait a minute. I just saw that person do blah, blah, blah. You know, this other third person do a lot of things for that person, and they're still questioning, you know, what? Is that all you got for me? And you're understanding, oh my goodness, it really isn't me. And in that moment, right, you can walk away towards what is your true happiness. The thing that has been holding you back from true happiness is thinking that there was something wrong with you, when really there really wasn't. You know, there really and truly wasn't. It was their actions, not your actions. Stepping into that truth. And sometimes that is difficult, right? Stepping into that truth of, why couldn't I have seen this earlier? But Gemini, it was all part of the plan. It was all part of the plan. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Oh, Gemini, I send you much love and light. I do personal readings if you're interested. The link is in the description box below. I also appreciate all of your support through liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Have a great week. Bye for now.